Hello, and welcome to your AI News Roundup for June 18th, 2026. We start with the recent ban of the Claude AI model and what it means for global technology. Today, we also explore how Nvidia-backed companies are bringing artificial intelligence into the physical world. Stay tuned for the full details. News number 1. Anthropic suspended access to its Claude model for 3 days following internal concerns regarding potential hacking vulnerabilities. The decision, announced by Anthropic, stemmed from heightened security fears related to the platform's use and data handling practices. This incident, which occurred over the past week, prompted an immediate pause on external API access as a preventative measure. While specific technical details of the vulnerability remain under review, the suspension highlights escalating concerns within the industry regarding the security posture of large foundation models. Industry observers note this move comes amid intense scrutiny over data governance protocols and the increasing threat landscape facing advanced AI infrastructure. The event has triggered discussions about the necessary security frameworks required for deploying highly sensitive LLMs and the potential long-term implications for enterprise adoption of these powerful systems. News number 2. A recent restriction on the Claude AI model has prompted a serious reassessment among Indian technology companies regarding their generative AI strategies. This development serves as a significant wake-up call for the regional tech ecosystem. The action by major developers has highlighted the critical need for localized infrastructure and competitive positioning in the rapidly evolving foundation model space. Analysts are now examining how this shift impacts investment flows and competitive maneuvers within India's burgeoning AI sector. Specific focus is being placed on the implications for startups engaging in fine-tuning and deployment of large language models. The move underscores the necessity for Indian tech firms to accelerate efforts toward developing proprietary, high-performance models capable of operating independently of external platform dependencies. This shift necessitates strategic pivots in R&D spending to secure market share against global competitors. The event is driving a reevaluation of long-term AI roadmap planning across the subcontinent. News number 3. A company backed by Nvidia is pioneering the integration of artificial intelligence into physical systems, positioning itself for significant market growth. This firm is leveraging Nvidia's specialized hardware architecture to develop sensor-driven AI solutions designed for real-world operational deployment. The core innovation involves fine-tuning foundation models to process complex sensory data in real time, drastically reducing inference latency across industrial applications. As of Q3, the company has successfully deployed its system in 3 pilot manufacturing facilities, achieving a 40% reduction in material waste through predictive maintenance algorithms. The potential financial impact is significant. Analysts suggest the stock could experience a 3-fold jump based on forward-looking revenue projections tied to hardware sales and enterprise licensing agreements. This move directly challenges competitors who are focusing primarily on cloud-based LLM development rather than tangible physical execution. The strategy shifts the competitive landscape from pure model performance to end-to-end system integration, driving a new wave of hardware-software synergy in the AI sector. News number 4. A startup backed by Nvidia is developing infrastructure solutions designed to accelerate grid connections for massive AI data centers. The initiative addresses the growing power demands of hyperscale computing facilities, aiming to mitigate bottlenecks in energy delivery essential for scaling foundation models. The company is focusing on optimizing the physical and digital pathways required to sustain high-throughput AI operations, which currently strain existing utility infrastructure. By addressing these grid connection challenges, the startup seeks to improve the efficiency and sustainability of large-scale data center deployment. This effort leverages Nvidia's expertise in hardware optimization to develop novel solutions for energy management at the facility level. The goal is to ensure that computational demands do not become a limiting factor for expanding AI infrastructure globally. This move positions the company at the intersection of hardware design and critical energy infrastructure, crucial for future compute scaling. News number 5. Major players in the AI infrastructure space are facing significant financial headwinds as the cost of deploying large foundation models continues to escalate. Nvidia, Amazon, and Microsoft are grappling with strained capital budgets following increased expenditure on training and inference costs across their respective AI initiatives. Reports indicate that current cash flow cannot sustain the aggressive scaling required for next-generation model development and hardware procurement. This financial pressure is directly impacting competitive positioning as companies attempt to balance infrastructure investment against immediate operational expenses in a highly competitive market. The strain is particularly acute for those focusing on large-scale fine-tuning operations and high-volume inference services, forcing strategic reallocations of capital across their AI roadmaps. News number 6. Apple is upgrading the memory specifications of the upcoming iPhone 18 to 12 GB of unified memory to facilitate the integration of Siri AI and Apple Intelligence features. This hardware adjustment targets the enhanced processing demands of on-device generative AI capabilities. The move to 12 gigabytes of unified memory represents a significant shift in Apple's approach to integrating localized intelligence, moving beyond traditional CPU/GPU segregation for core system tasks. This expanded capacity is crucial for handling complex inference operations required by new features like Siri and the broader Apple Intelligence framework directly on the device. Industry observers note that this specification signals Apple's commitment to making advanced AI functionality deeply embedded in the operating system layer rather than relying solely on cloud processing. Such memory allocation allows for seamless, low-latency execution of large model components locally, optimizing performance while managing thermal constraints during intensive tasks. This hardware decision positions the iPhone 18 as a pivotal device for next-generation mobile AI experiences. News number 7. OpenAI and Anthropic engaged with world leaders during the G7 wrap-up to deliberate the future governance and development trajectory of artificial intelligence. The high-level discussions focused on establishing international frameworks for foundation model safety and deployment, signaling a coordinated effort among major AI developers to shape global regulatory policy. Key topics included mitigating systemic risks associated with large language models and defining ethical guardrails for advanced reasoning capabilities. OpenAI and Anthropic positioned their dialogue as crucial steps toward harmonizing national AI strategies, emphasizing the need for cross-border cooperation in managing the accelerating pace of deep learning innovation. This meeting underscored the growing geopolitical tensions surrounding AI development, specifically addressing how to balance rapid technological advancement with robust regulatory oversight across major economies. The conversation directly addressed the challenges inherent in scaling inference capabilities and ensuring model alignment before potential IPOs or further large-scale infrastructure investments materialize. News number 8. SpaceX has finalized a landmark $60 billion acquisition, bringing Anthropic and an OpenAI rival under its umbrella. The deal consolidates significant assets from the leading AI foundation model developers into the aerospace giant's portfolio. This massive transaction signals a dramatic shift in the competitive landscape of generative AI, effectively creating a dominant force that bridges cutting-edge machine learning with advanced space capabilities. While specific details on the valuation and integration strategy remain proprietary, the move immediately alters the competitive positioning between major players vying for control over large language model development and deployment. Industry analysts point to this acquisition as a strategic play to secure intellectual property and accelerate large-scale model inference capabilities across new platforms. This consolidation is poised to redefine the economics of frontier AI research, forcing competitors to rapidly adjust their own strategies regarding fine-tuning and proprietary data access in the highly competitive sector. News number 9. A critical vulnerability was discovered in Microsoft Copilot that allowed malicious actors to steal user two-factor authentication codes through a single-click exploit. Security researchers uncovered a flaw within the Copilot system that permitted unauthorized access to sensitive session data, specifically targeting two-factor authentication credentials stored during inference processes. This security lapse enables sophisticated attackers to compromise user accounts by exfiltrating 2FA codes with minimal effort. The vulnerability exists within Microsoft's Copilot infrastructure and affects users who rely on this platform for daily interactions. The exploit allows hackers to bypass standard security protocols, leveraging the AI's interaction mechanisms to access highly sensitive authentication tokens. This incident highlights significant gaps in how LLM-driven interfaces manage session integrity and authentication data. Industry analysts are now scrutinizing how large foundation models handle security context and user data flow during real-time inference. Microsoft is currently addressing the vulnerability, emphasizing immediate patching protocols for affected systems. News number 10. The city of Razio has partnered with Capgemini to implement an AI strategy centered on Microsoft 365 Copilot. This initiative focuses on deploying generative AI tools across municipal services to create a people-first framework for public administration. The collaboration involves leveraging Copilot to enhance operational efficiency and service delivery within the city structure. While specific deployment dates and financial metrics are pending, the partnership marks a significant move toward integrating enterprise-grade AI solutions into local government operations. This effort positions Razio as one of the first municipalities focusing on practical, deployable AI applications rather than pure research. Capgemini is providing the consultancy framework necessary to scope and execute this integration, ensuring that the implementation aligns with municipal priorities. This public-private collaboration demonstrates a growing trend where large foundation model integrations are being adapted for localized governance challenges. The focus remains on operationalizing AI tools for tangible civic outcomes rather than purely theoretical development. News number 11. Apple is integrating Siri AI into the Apple Watch ecosystem within watchOS 27, transforming the device into a fully fledged AI wearable. This update signifies a major shift from simple voice commands to on-device, sophisticated machine learning capabilities for health and interaction management. The integration leverages advancements in Siri's natural language understanding to enable more complex contextual awareness directly on the wrist. This move positions the Apple Watch as a true autonomous device capable of proactive decision-making rather than just reactive input. Industry analysts point to this transition as a critical step toward embedding generative AI capabilities at the edge of the device, optimizing inference and reducing cloud dependency. The deployment introduces new operational parameters for how Siri handles real-time sensor data from the watchOS platform, setting a new benchmark for wearable intelligence. News number 12. Apple has unveiled a significantly updated Siri AI, integrating new generative capabilities directly into the operating system for enhanced context awareness. The update, released this week across all iOS devices, leverages a newly fine-tuned foundation model optimized for localized, real-time inference. This iteration boasts a 25% reduction in latency compared to the previous version and processes complex multi-step commands with an average accuracy score of 94%, according to internal testing benchmarks. The new architecture allows Siri to handle complex cross-application queries without requiring external cloud processing for routine tasks, aiming to improve user experience by reducing trip time to task completion. This move positions Apple to further integrate on-device intelligence, intensifying the competitive pressure from competitors focusing on closed-source, highly optimized local models. News number 13. Apple faces a potential settlement of up to $250 million related to its AI rollout, with some users potentially qualifying for an additional $95 payout. This financial agreement stems from claims regarding Apple's handling and disclosure surrounding its integration of generative AI features across its product ecosystem. The details specify the scope of the liability associated with the AI deployment strategy. While the exact qualification criteria are outlined in the full filing, the settlement addresses issues related to user data privacy and transparency during this rollout phase. This development highlights the growing legal scrutiny facing major tech firms regarding the ethical and regulatory implications of deploying large foundation models. The case centers on how Apple managed disclosures concerning these new AI services to end users, creating a potential financial liability for qualifying parties. News number 14. International organizations are positioning themselves as critical drivers for the intersection of artificial intelligence development and global capital markets. The World Bank Group is leading this effort by framing AI adoption not just as a technological challenge, but as an economic frontier requiring structured financial mechanisms. The organization's recent reports detail how strategic investment in foundational models and machine learning infrastructure can unlock significant growth opportunities across developing economies. This shift involves leveraging AI for improved risk assessment, optimizing capital flows, and managing the complex regulatory landscape surrounding digital assets and data governance. By focusing on these macroeconomic implications, international bodies are creating frameworks that facilitate the deployment of advanced technologies, providing a standardized pathway for nations to integrate cutting-edge AI tools into their financial strategies. This focus positions organizations like the World Bank to influence global investment policies, setting benchmarks for how sovereign wealth funds and private capital allocate resources toward large-scale AI projects. The implications extend beyond simple technology transfer, directly affecting market liquidity and the valuation of data-driven enterprises worldwide. News number 15. Congressman Brad Sherman recently revisited the topic of artificial intelligence 21 years after delivering a commencement address at UCLA. The discussion centered on the evolution of AI and its implications for the next generation of technological and societal development. The remarks, delivered during his appearance at the UCLA commencement ceremony, provided a retrospective look at how the field of machine learning and generative models has transformed over 2 decades. Sherman addressed the trajectory from early foundation model concepts to the current landscape dominated by large-scale inference systems and rapid fine-tuning cycles. The conversation highlighted the critical need for educational frameworks that prepare students for navigating the complex ethical and regulatory challenges facing advanced AI deployment today. This revisit served as a reminder of the long-term vision required to govern rapidly evolving technology, emphasizing the intersection of academic innovation and policy creation in shaping the future of artificial intelligence. News number 16. French leadership has called for the United States to share advanced AI technology and establish regulatory cooperation between democracies. The call centers on the necessity of aligning global frameworks to manage the deployment risks associated with cutting-edge foundation models. The appeal stresses that shared oversight is critical for setting effective governance standards, particularly concerning the ethical deployment and systemic risks inherent in large-scale AI systems. This diplomatic push seeks to establish a multilateral approach to regulating technologies like generative AI, moving beyond unilateral national strategies. The discussion highlights the tension between rapid technological development and the need for synchronized regulatory frameworks across major economies. Cooperation is framed as essential to ensuring that innovation proceeds responsibly while mitigating potential societal harms. This initiative pushes for a collaborative effort on defining boundaries for AI development and deployment in the global sphere. News number 17. Geopolitical concerns surrounding U.S. AI export controls have sparked significant debate among European policymakers and industry analysts. The Center for European Policy Analysis, or CEPA, has highlighted the friction generated by these controls as a critical factor in shaping the global AI landscape. These restrictions target advanced semiconductor technology and specific foundation models, aiming to limit access to cutting-edge AI capabilities outside of designated jurisdictions. The controversy stems from the perceived imbalance between technological innovation and international regulatory frameworks. European firms are grappling with how to maintain competitive positioning while adhering to evolving U.S. policies regarding dual-use technologies. The controls affect global supply chains for specialized hardware required for large-scale model training and inference operations. This situation is forcing a re-evaluation of cross-border data flows and the future trajectory of AI development outside North America. Industry stakeholders are now focused on potential sanctions and the resulting shifts in international collaboration efforts regarding advanced machine learning research. News number 18. The Bruegel Institute has issued a warning that Europe and its allies must develop strategies to mitigate the dependency risk associated with global AI infrastructure. The analysis outlines how reliance on external providers for foundational models and critical computing poses systemic vulnerabilities to European economic stability. The report details specific scenarios where supply chain disruptions or geopolitical shifts could severely impact the EU's ability to deploy advanced generative AI solutions domestically. It emphasizes that current dependencies, particularly concerning specialized hardware and proprietary large language models, create a fragility in the competitive landscape. The Bruegel recommendation calls for proactive planning across regulatory frameworks and industrial policy to ensure sovereign control over essential AI technologies. This strategic shift necessitates immediate action to diversify sourcing and invest in domestic research capacity, aiming to reduce exposure to single-source dependencies in the rapidly evolving AI ecosystem. News number 19. DeepSeek successfully closed a massive funding round, pushing its valuation past the $50 billion mark. The company secured $7.4 billion in new capital, significantly boosting its market standing within the competitive foundation model space. This landmark financing places DeepSeek among the most valued AI entities globally. The funding achievement signals strong investor confidence in DeepSeek's trajectory and its specialized approach to large language models. While the exact terms of the valuation are proprietary, this inflow of capital is expected to fuel aggressive expansion across research and development initiatives. The funds will be deployed towards scaling infrastructure and advancing their model training capabilities, which includes intensive fine-tuning efforts on proprietary datasets. This move solidifies DeepSeek's position as a major player challenging established giants in the rapidly evolving AI market. News number 20. Amazon has secured $310 million in funding for AI startup Odyssey. The investment positions Amazon as a major backer of the enterprise AI space, signaling a strategic push into specialized machine learning solutions. Odyssey, an AI startup, has raised this capital to scale its operations and further develop its proprietary models. This funding round is significant given Odyssey's focus on applying advanced deep learning techniques to complex operational challenges. The deal underscores Amazon's commitment to integrating cutting-edge AI capabilities across its platform, moving beyond internal development toward acquiring specialized external expertise. While specifics regarding the use of these funds for model training or inference optimization are pending, the capital injection signals a serious market confidence in Odyssey's technological approach to enterprise AI deployment. This move reflects a broader industry trend where major tech players are investing heavily in niche AI startups to secure competitive advantages in generative and operational intelligence. News number 21. The market for edge AI chips is projected to exceed $291.8 billion by 2033, driving significant growth across the entire AI semiconductor industry. This projection highlights the rapidly expanding demand for specialized processing units deployed at the edge of networks. The anticipated surge in market value stems from the increasing necessity for localized, low-latency inference capabilities outside of centralized data centers. This shift mandates substantial investment in hardware optimized for efficient computation and energy management on resource-constrained devices. The growth trajectory is fueling competitive moves among major semiconductor players vying to capture this growing segment. Companies are focusing on developing customized silicon architectures that improve power efficiency while maintaining high computational throughput. Achieving this market valuation depends heavily on the successful deployment of these chips in consumer electronics, IoT devices, and autonomous systems. This trend underscores the transition from cloud-centric AI processing to decentralized edge computing infrastructure. News number 22. Amazon Web Services has announced new capabilities designed to provide context intelligence for data and AI agents operating at scale. This initiative aims to enhance how large language models process enterprise data, allowing sophisticated AI agents to make more informed decisions across complex workflows. The framework is built to integrate contextual awareness directly into the data pipeline, moving beyond simple retrieval to deliver deeper semantic understanding necessary for complex inference tasks. AWS is focusing on providing a scalable infrastructure layer that manages the complexity of context ingestion and retrieval for enterprise-grade applications. This addresses the challenge of managing vast, heterogeneous datasets required to power autonomous AI agents. This move positions AWS to offer a unified platform for deploying foundation models, significantly streamlining the process of fine-tuning models using proprietary organizational data. Competitors are responding by accelerating their own vector database offerings and emphasizing retrieval-augmented generation solutions to match this enterprise demand for contextual grounding at scale. News number 23. The four major AI hyperscalers are reportedly engaging in significant acquisition activity today. Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta are aggressively deploying capital into strategic purchases aimed at securing foundational model infrastructure and specialized compute resources. Sources indicate these moves represent a coordinated effort to solidify market positioning ahead of the next generation of large language model deployment cycles. For instance, reports detail that Microsoft announced an immediate $5 billion commitment to acquire specialized semiconductor firms, focusing on reducing dependency on external GPU supply chains for their inference operations. Meanwhile, Amazon is reportedly targeting smaller, specialized data labeling companies to enhance its internal data pipeline quality, aiming to improve the fine-tuning capabilities of its proprietary models. This synchronized buying spree underscores a heightened competitive environment where control over specialized silicon and high-throughput data processing capacity is paramount for maintaining an edge in foundation model development. These acquisitions are designed to optimize their respective internal pipelines and accelerate deployment timelines across their enterprise AI initiatives. News number 24. DeepSeek secured landmark funding that solidifies the founder's position amidst intense competition in the AI landscape. The recent landmark funding injection has cemented the founder's grip on DeepSeek amid heated rivalry within the competitive foundation model sector. The capital infusion provides crucial runway for scaling operations and accelerating research into novel large language models. This move comes at a critical juncture as major players vie for dominance in the rapidly evolving generative AI space. The funding addresses strategic goals related to advancing their proprietary models and enhancing their capacity for complex inference tasks. This backing positions DeepSeek to aggressively pursue competitive moves against established giants, focusing on specialized model development rather than broad market saturation. The investment signals confidence in DeepSeek's ability to maintain a differentiated technological edge through continued fine-tuning efforts. News number 25. A Swiss AI startup is securing $100 million in series of funding to scale its operations. The financing round is being led by Prem, a technology firm based in Switzerland, aiming to accelerate the development of its core AI technologies across Europe. This significant capital injection will be allocated towards expanding their engineering teams and scaling infrastructure necessary for complex model training and deployment. The Series A capital targets further investment into proprietary foundation models and specialized machine learning applications. The funding marks a major milestone for Prem, positioning them among the most heavily capitalized AI ventures originating from the Swiss market. This move signals strong investor confidence in the startup's technical roadmap and its ability to capture market share in high-value enterprise solutions. News number 26. Robotics infrastructure startup XDOF has successfully emerged from stealth, securing $70 million in funding to scale its robotics platform. The capital injection positions the company to accelerate development across its core infrastructure solutions for industrial automation and advanced physical systems. This significant investment targets expanding their deployment of specialized sensors and operational software crucial for complex robotic deployments. Sources indicate that XDOF is focusing on developing scalable frameworks necessary for enterprise-level robotics applications, moving beyond pilot programs into full-scale integration. The funding allows the team to expand engineering capacity and enhance the connectivity protocols essential for real-time data processing in manufacturing environments. This move signals increased investor confidence in the market for specialized robotics infrastructure solutions designed to bridge the gap between AI models and physical hardware execution. News number 27. Amazon Web Services is developing autonomous AI agents and associated control mechanisms to manage their operational behavior. The company is actively building tools designed to govern these agents, ensuring alignment with defined objectives. This initiative centers on creating self-directed AI systems capable of executing complex tasks independently within cloud environments. AWS is focused on the infrastructure layer necessary for these sophisticated agents to operate autonomously. By developing regulatory and control tools alongside the agents themselves, AWS aims to address critical concerns regarding safety and operational oversight in advanced AI deployment. This move positions AWS to provide a comprehensive platform not just for model inference, but also for the safe and controlled execution of complex multi-agent workflows at scale. News number 28. Amazon Web Services is deploying AI agents to enhance DevSecOps practices, specifically addressing security and workflow challenges within GitHub environments. These new AWS AI agents are designed to automate the identification and remediation of vulnerabilities, streamlining the typically complex DevSecOps lifecycle exacerbated by ongoing GitHub-related security troubles. The implementation focuses on integrating AI capabilities directly into CI/CD pipelines to enforce security policies automatically across repositories. This move aims to significantly reduce the manual overhead associated with patching and compliance checks in rapidly evolving software development environments. The agents leverage machine learning to analyze code commits, pull requests, and vulnerability reports, enabling proactive security posture management rather than reactive fixes. By automating these tasks, AWS seeks to hone developer skills while ensuring critical security standards are met at scale. This initiative positions AI agents as a crucial tool for operationalizing security compliance within large-scale cloud infrastructure deployments. News number 29. The United Auto Workers President Fain has issued a warning regarding the potential threat artificial intelligence poses to the automotive labor sector. Fain stated that the rapid deployment of generative AI tools directly threatens existing manufacturing jobs and requires immediate policy intervention from federal regulators. The warning centers on how these advanced systems are being integrated into production lines, potentially leading to significant displacement within the automotive supply chain. Specifically, Fain emphasized that without proactive measures, the shift in automation could severely impact wages and job security for workers currently engaged in assembly and fabrication roles across the industry. This statement comes amid ongoing discussions concerning the economic implications of large-scale AI integration into heavy industry. The auto workers' position argues that current automation strategies fail to account for the necessary workforce transition required by these technological shifts. This warning is part of a broader effort by labor groups to demand regulatory oversight on how foundation models are implemented in industrial settings. News number 30. The lobby for Japanese banks has issued a warning regarding potential service disruptions stemming from AI-enabled cyber attacks targeting the financial sector. This alert highlights growing concerns within the banking industry about the vulnerability of critical services to sophisticated, AI-driven threats. The warning stems from an assessment that current security protocols are insufficient to mitigate the evolving risk landscape introduced by generative and autonomous systems interacting with core banking infrastructure. The concern centers on the potential for these attacks to cause significant operational instability, impacting transaction processing and data integrity across Japanese financial institutions. This push for heightened security measures is driven by the increasing sophistication of AI-enabled exploits targeting large-scale enterprise systems. Industry experts are emphasizing that securing sensitive financial data against these novel attack vectors requires immediate focus on system hardening and advanced threat detection capabilities. The warning underscores a critical need for banks to rapidly deploy specialized defenses against threats leveraging machine learning for reconnaissance and intrusion tactics. Thank you for watching today's AI news. Please subscribe and hit the like button for more updates. Join us tomorrow for deep dives into the latest AI breakthroughs.